Hello everyone, in this video I will show you the 3 builds that I used to beat the entire game pretty easily. These builds focus on exploiting the weaknesses of the majority of boss enemies in the game or using broken spells, making every boss easier to deal with. The first build that I used for the majority of the boss fights, which is also my best build, is a Spellcaster build focused on fire damage and burn. The reason this build is so strong is because fire spells cost little Skyborn Might, deal a lot of damage, and burning enemies deal a ton of damage per tick. For this build I am using the following items. Astral Blade one-handed sword. If you have the Watcher's Gaze from the deluxe edition, use that instead, because it has better scaling and higher magic attack. Sun Pendant for increased damage with spells. For the other 2 pendants, use whatever you need for each specific situation. If you're fighting large enemies, definitely use Fiend Felling Pendant. Echo of Dutanga as your first spell, Burning Flames as your second spell, and Infernal Flames as your third fire spell. Once you get Infernal Flames, you should use that as your main fire spell, because it has the highest damage, highest burn status attack, low Skyborn Might cost, and high magic scaling. It is also a homing attack with a quick casting time, so it's almost impossible to miss. You can get this spell by defeating the Face Changer around the Shoe Sanctum in Worship's Rise. For the armor, use whatever you need according to what mitigation and resistance you need for the specific boss or map you are fighting in. When it comes to benedictions, I recommend using the first 2 pieces of the Wei Disciplinary Force set for increased damage, and then the Ta Blazing Burn Benediction for increased burn damage. You can obtain the Blazing Burn Benediction from the Panda Cave near the Shoe Sanctum in Chapter 4. If you don't have all of these yet, just use any benedictions that increase your damage or spell damage in any way. When it comes to tempering, you want to use the Magic Bone Needle, Root Stone Needle, Plumed Stone Needle, Everlight Stone Needle, and Shadow Stone Needle. For the skill tree, you want to focus on unlocking the following key nodes. Biding Time node for passive Skyborn Might generation. This is crucial for any Spellcaster sword build. On the left side of the skill tree, focus on unlocking all nodes that increase your Skyborn Might limit and tempering charges. The Unbroken Focus node for better biding time sustaining, causing more Skyborn Might generation. Fiery Embers node for faster burn buildup. Bone Needle Magic to unlock the Magic Bone Needle for tempering. Rapid Temperance for faster applying of temperance during combat. In the one-handed sword skill tree, go for the branch at the top that has a lot of magic nodes, because we are focusing on a magic stat. Unlock all possible Swift Blade nodes to upgrade your one-handed swords. Disciplines are irrelevant for this build, but if you have the Disciplinary Force Benediction set equipped, depending on how many pieces of it you have, you want to unlock the corresponding number of disciplines, even if you are not going to use them. For example, in my version of the build, I am using 2 pieces of the Disciplinary Force set, so I need to have 6 different disciplines unlocked to get a damage boost from the benedictions. Any leftover point you have should go into magic nodes, which will further increase your damage with spells and your sword. The build playstyle focuses on perfect dodging enemy attacks to gain Skyborn Might, pairing that with the Biding Time node to spam our fire spells and apply burn to enemies. While enemies are burning, you should refrain from using any more spells until burn wears off, to ensure you can quickly reapply it after that. If you're fighting a boss that is resistant to fire, simply use any other magic spell with a good magic scaling and low cost, such as Heavenly Thunder. I used Heavenly Thunder against WUCHANG, and it was an easy fight. Make sure to use your tempering charges throughout the fight, since they boost your spell's damage considerably. If you're fighting against aggressive enemies and you have trouble dodging, consider using Burning Flames instead of Infernal Flames because of the Alacrity effect. Let's move on to the second build I used. This is a build that focuses on the Echo of the Bowmagus spell, and it's only available to use once you beat the Bowmagus boss, which is towards the endgame. It's extremely powerful against any type of boss and deals damage constantly while tanking all hits due to the insane power of the Bowmagus spell. This build can be used with any weapon class, but I think the best version is with dual blades, since they have strong effects like clash and healing while attacking. The build is pretty much unkillable, especially against slower enemies, because of the Echo of the Bowmagus spell creates a shield around you that blocks several hits completely. The build uses the following items. Bitter Severance Dual Blades, which can be obtained after defeating Perfect Bride Fang Ling. The reason I am using this weapon is because it has the highest agility scaling of all dual blades, and it has a good weapon skill and trait. the Twin Infant Pendant for more stamina recovery, the Dragonfish Pendant for more stamina, and the Eagle Pendant for more stab attack power. Echo of the Bow Magus as the only spell, because we'll have to keep this active as much as possible, and it has a high Skyborn Might cost. For the armor, use whatever you need according to what mitigation and resistance you need for the specific boss or map you're fighting in. For the benedictions, I recommend using the first two pieces of the 3 Disciplinary Force and the Combo Force. If you don't have enough skill points to activate 6 disciplines, just replace the 6 Disciplinary Force with any other benediction that increases damage or stamina. When it comes to tempering, I recommend using the Poise Break Bone Needle and the following stone needles: Strength, Temper, Continuity, and Status. For the skill tree, you want to focus on unlocking the following key nodes. On the left side of the skill tree, focus on unlocking all nodes that increase your Skyborn Might limit and tempering charges. The Bone Needle Poise Break node to unlock the Poise Break Needle. Health Siphon node for some sustain. In the Dual Blade skill tree, unlock the Swift Warrior and Mighty Combination nodes for additional Skyborn Might during combos. All the possible Swift Blade nodes to upgrade your Dual Blade weapons. Unlock all 4 Discipline skills just to get the bonus damage from the Discipline Force benedictions. Unlock the Blade Master Discipline node along with its 2 variant nodes. Unlock all nodes that give you agility and endurance. This build requires a lot of endurance to deal sustained damage, and your weapon scales with agility. Any leftover points will go into any nodes that give you agility and endurance. On your weapon, make sure to equip the Blade Master Discipline. This discipline costs just 1 Skyborn Might and makes your clash attacks restore health, which is insane on dual blades because all dual blades attacks can clash by default. When it comes to the playstyle, there are just 2 main things you have to do: spam light attacks and use Echo of the Bow Magus whenever it's possible. If you complete a full combo of dual blades light attacks and hit at least 1 clash during that, you will gain 3 Skyborn Might stacks guaranteed, so you should be able to maintain the Bow Magus spell active constantly, unless you are fighting against an enemy that moves or dodges a lot. Try to also maintain your Blade Master Discipline active at all times, because it gives you healing and faster light attacks. If you're running low on health, just back off and heal, and always engage the enemy head on without fear, because with just a few clashes you will gain enough Skyborn Might to use Echo of the Bow Magus again. Make sure to also keep your tempering active at all times for increased damage and poise build-up. That's literally all there is to it. This build is extremely easy to use and strong against almost any boss. Feel free to swap the dual blades to any other weapon class if you prefer others. Let's move on to the third build I used. This is a deflect focus build I used to deal with bosses like Hong Lan and WUCHANG, since I didn't have other tools available at that time. It works best against enemies that have a lot of melee attacks with swords and spears, so I wouldn't use it against magic based enemies. The build focuses on playing passively and deflecting enemy attacks, then countering with your own attacks, and just repeating this until they get stunned, allowing you to deal a ton of damage. The build uses the following items: the Lashing Whip Longsword, which is the best longsword for a deflect build due to its trait, which buffs your poise break effect from temperance. It also has the highest agility scaling of all the longswords. If you don't have Lashing Whip yet, just use Cloudfrost's Edge. Twin Infant Pendant for stamina recovery, Dragonfish Pendant for more stamina, and Eagle Pendant for more stab attack power, since almost all counterattacks are stab attacks. The Divine Might spell, which costs only 1 Skyborn Might and increases the damage of your next attack, which is perfect for a deflect and counterattack build. For the armor, use whatever you need according to what mitigation and resistance you need for the specific boss or map you are fighting in. For the benedictions, I recommend using the first 2 pieces of the 3 Disciplinary Force and the Counter Force. If you don't have enough skill points to activate 6 disciplines, just replace the 6 Disciplinary Force with any other benediction that increases damage or stamina. When it comes to tempering, I recommend using the Poise Break Bone Needle and the following stone needles: Strength, Temper, Continuity, and Status. For the skill tree, you want to focus on unlocking the following key nodes. On the left side of the skill tree, focus on unlocking all nodes that increase your Skyborn Might limit and tempering charges. The Bone Needle Poise Break node to unlock the Poise Break Needle. Health Siphon node for some sustain. All the possible Swift Blade nodes to upgrade your longsword weapons. Unlock all 4 Discipline skills just to get the bonus damage from the Discipline Force benedictions. And in the longsword skill tree, unlock and equip the Sword Counter Discipline along with its 2 variant skills: This will be the main skill for this build. Any leftover points should go into strength, agility and stamina nodes. Make sure you have the sword counter discipline equipped on your weapon. It costs 0 Skyborn Might and it's the skill you will be using to deflect enemy attacks. When it comes to the playstyle, simply play passively and wait for the enemy to launch an attack that you can parry, then use your sword counter skill to deflect and immediately follow with 1 or 2 counter attacks. Don't overcommit after deflecting to avoid taking damage. Keep in mind that you can only deflect weapon attacks. You cannot deflect magic attacks or punches and kicks. Make sure to use the Divine Might skill whenever you can to prepare for deflecting, which will increase the damage of your counter attack. Use Tempering whenever possible, which will increase the poise break you apply to enemies. With this build you should be able to negate almost all enemy attacks, fill their poise break bar fast and deal with them easily. With the 3 builds I just showed you, you should have no issues in beating the entire game relatively easily. That will be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments and if you would like to see other videos for WUCHANG Fall on Feathers. Thanks for watching and I'll catch you in the next one.